I'm 42 years old. Married for 13 years. 2 kids. A golden retriever named Milo. Suburban street with identical mailboxes and people who wave too much. If you asked me a year ago, I would have said my life was stable. Not perfect, but steady. My wife, Claire, and I had routines. Morning coffee. Work. Kids' soccer practice. Weekend grocery runs. Boring, safe, predictable. I used to think predictable was a good thing. Claire started walking the dog more often last spring. At first, it seemed healthy. She said she needed the fresh air, wanted to clear her head. She'd go out in leggings and come back flushed, saying Milo needed the exercise. I remember feeling grateful. She seemed happier. Lighter. There's something almost humiliating about how blind I was. I thought we were just settling into middle age. I thought the distance I felt was normal. I thought marriages just got quieter. I didn't know that while I was sitting at home helping our son with math homework, she was falling for a guy who walked other people's dogs. And maybe walking mine too. The dog walker's name was Evan. Early 30s, lean, always wearing those athletic shorts and a backwards cap. I'd seen him around the neighborhood with 3 or 4 dogs at a time. He seemed harmless. Just some guy making a living. Claire mentioned him casually at first. Oh, Evan says Milo's leash is too short. Or, Evan recommends a different dog food brand. I remember thinking it was funny she knew his name. Then she started timing her walks differently. Late mornings when I was working from home but in meetings. Early evenings right before dinner. She bought new workout clothes. Started wearing makeup. Just in case we ran into people. I didn't question it. Or maybe I did, but I buried it. You don't want to be the paranoid husband policing a dog walk. She laughed more at her phone. Tilted the screen away when I walked into the room. Red flags are only obvious in hindsight. At the time, they just feel like discomfort you don't want to examine too closely. I chose comfort. The first rail crack happened on a Tuesday night. Claire left her phone on the kitchen counter while she showered. A message popped up. I wasn't snooping. I swear I wasn't. The screen just lit up. Can't stop thinking about earlier. Same time tomorrow? No name. Just a heart emoji. My stomach dropped in a way that felt physical, like missing a step in the dark. I stood there staring at the phone. I could have walked away. I should have walked away. Instead, I picked it up. The thread wasn't long. Mostly deleted, I think. But there were enough fragments. You looked incredible. Miss your hands? Milo was the perfect excuse. Milo was the perfect excuse. I felt stupid reading that. Stupid for not knowing. Stupid for trusting. When she came downstairs, towel around her hair, I was still standing in the kitchen holding her phone like it had burned me. She saw my face before I said anything. And she knew. What is this? I asked. My voice didn't sound like mine. It was thin. Controlled. Too calm. She froze. Just for a second. Then she said, You went through my phone? That deflection hit harder than anything else. I saw the message pop up, I said. Who is it, Claire? Silence. The kind that stretches until it feels violent. It's nothing, she said finally. You're overreacting. Nothing. The word echoed in my head. I read one of the messages out loud. My hands were shaking. Milo was the perfect excuse. What does that mean? She sat down slowly at the table like her legs couldn't hold her. It didn't mean anything, she whispered. I remember laughing. Not because it was funny. Because my brain couldn't process what was happening. Did you sleep with him? I asked. She looked at me. And she didn't answer. That was the answer. When she finally spoke, it came out in fragments. It just happened. I was lonely. You've been distant. It's amazing how quickly blame can shift. I asked her how long. She said, A few weeks. But her eyes darted away. Later I'd learn it was closer to 3 months. 3 months of dog walks. She said it started with conversation. He complimented her. Said she looked too young to have teenage kids. Asked about her life. Listened. Do you know how long it's been since someone looked at me like that? She said. That sentence cut deeper than the confession. Because I thought I did look at her. Maybe not the same way I did at 25. But I thought love evolved. I didn't know it evaporated. Did you bring him into our house? I asked. No. Small mercy. But she admitted she'd gone to his apartment once. After a walk. I don't even know who you are right now, I said. Honestly, I didn't know who I was either. The next few days were a blur. I slept on the couch. Or pretended to sleep. My chest felt tight constantly. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. with images in my head I couldn't control. Her. Him. Laughing. Touching. Using my dog as an excuse. Every time Milo wagged his tail at her, I felt this irrational surge of anger. Like even the dog had betrayed me. The kids noticed the tension immediately. Our daughter asked why I wasn't sleeping upstairs. Dad snores, Claire said lightly. The normalcy of that lie made me feel insane. I couldn't eat. Couldn't focus at work. I kept replaying every moment from the past few months. Every extra walk. Every late return. She tried to talk. Tried to cry. Said it was a mistake. Said she'd ended it. Did you love him? I asked one night. No, she said instantly. But she hesitated before answering. And that hesitation is what I remember. I confronted her about why she really did it. Not the surface excuses. Not lonely. Not midlife crisis. She admitted she liked the secrecy. The thrill. Being wanted without responsibility. He doesn't know my flaws, she said. He doesn't see the bills, the stress, the tired version of me. That honesty hurt more than if she'd lied. Because it meant she chose fantasy over reality. And reality was me. I asked if she ever thought about the kids. About what would happen if I found out. She started crying then. Big, messy sobs. I didn't think you would, she said. That sentence still makes me feel small. Like I was so predictable, so safe, that she assumed I'd never look closely. I wanted to scream. To break something. Instead, I just sat there. I kept thinking, we built a life together. How was it that fragile? Or was it never solid to begin with? Word travels fast in a neighborhood. 2 weeks after the confrontation, I noticed people looking at me differently. A neighbor mentioned seeing Claire and Evan walking together a lot. Walking. That's what they thought. I don't know if anyone knows the truth. Maybe it's just paranoia. But I feel exposed every time I pass someone on the sidewalk. Evan still walks dogs here. I saw him once after everything came out. He gave me a nod like nothing had happened. I wanted to punch him. But I didn't. Because the real betrayal wasn't him. He didn't vow anything to me. She did. Claire says she's cut off contact. Blocked his number. Changed her walking route. But trust, once cracked, doesn't glue back neatly. It splinters. Every time she leaves the house now, I feel my stomach tighten. That's not a marriage. That's surveillance. And I hate the person I'm becoming. We tried therapy. Sitting on that couch, explaining to a stranger how my wife slept with a neighborhood dog walker, felt surreal. The therapist asked why I needed to feel safe again. I didn't know how to answer. An apology? I got one. Transparency? She offered passwords. Time? Maybe. But what I wanted was something impossible. I wanted to erase the knowledge. I wanted to go back to being the guy who thought walking the dog meant exactly that. Claire kept saying she wanted to fix this. That she loved me. That 13 years mattered more than 3 months. Logically, that makes sense. Emotionally, it doesn't. Because those 3 months weren't a mistake. They were a series of choices. Every single walk was a choice. And I can't stop counting them. The kids still don't know. We function. We cook dinner. We attend school events. From the outside, we're intact. Inside, I feel hollow. Some nights she reaches for me in bed. I freeze. My body doesn't respond the way it used to. It's not just jealousy. It's humiliation. I imagine him touching her. Saying the same things I used to say. Complimenting the same smile. Comparison is poison. And I drink it daily. She says it wasn't better. That it was empty. Physical. Meaningless. But if it was meaningless, why risk everything? That question loops endlessly in my head. I've started questioning my own worth. Was I boring? Too predictable? Too focused on work? Infidelity doesn't just break trust. It fractures identity. I used to feel confident in who I was as a husband. Now I feel like a placeholder someone stepped out on during a lunch break. There are moments when I almost forgive her. We'll laugh at something small. Or she'll look at me with that old softness. And I remember why I married her. Then something triggers me. A notification sound. A delayed return from the store. And the anger floods back. She says I'm punishing her by not letting it go. Maybe I am. But betrayal doesn't have a timeline. Sometimes I wonder if staying is weakness. Or strength. Leaving would shatter the kid's world. Staying feels like slowly eroding my own. I've thought about revenge. About leveling the playing field. But I know that would only make me someone I don't respect. The hardest part is loving someone who hurt you this deeply. Love doesn't switch off just because trust does. And that's the cruelest part. I asked her once, if I hadn't found out, would you have stopped? She didn't answer right away. I don't know, she admitted. That honesty, again, was brutal. It means I wasn't chosen. I was default. She didn't end it because she realized it was wrong. She ended it because she got caught. That distinction keeps me up at night. I've replayed the moment I saw that message 1,000 times. If I had ignored it, would we still be living in ignorance? Would that be better? Sometimes I miss the version of her I thought I knew. Sometimes I miss the version of me who didn't second-guess everything. The irony is, we still have Milo. He still needs walks. Claire doesn't take him out alone anymore. I do. Every time I clip on his leash, I feel this strange mix of anger and absurdity. A dog walk changed my life. My mental health has taken a hit I didn't anticipate. I'm more anxious. More irritable. I snap at small things. I've started questioning other memories. Were there signs earlier in our marriage? Was this the first time? She swears it was. But once someone crosses that line, your brain rewrites history. Friends ask if everything's okay. I say yes. I'm too ashamed to tell anyone the truth. There's something deeply emasculating about saying, my wife cheated on me with the guy who walks dogs. It sounds ridiculous. Like a punchline. But it's not funny when it's your life. Some days I feel strong enough to rebuild. Other days I feel like I'm just delaying the inevitable. I never thought I'd be the guy posting anonymously online, spilling this out. But holding it in feels heavier than sharing it. Even if strangers are the only ones listening, we're still together. That's the part people either judge or admire. I'm not sure which. She's trying. I can see it. More attentive. More present. Almost overly careful. But effort doesn't erase memory. I've learned that forgiveness isn't a single decision. It's a daily one. And some days I choose not to. I think about the moment she looked at me in the kitchen, knowing she'd been caught. That look wasn't just guilt. It was fear. Fear of losing comfort. Stability. Me. I wish that fear had existed before she crossed the line. Maybe we'll make it. Maybe in 5 years this will be something we survived. Or maybe this is the crack that slowly widens until everything collapses. I don't know. What I do know is I'll never hear. I'm just walking the dog. The same way again. If there's anything I've learned, it's that betrayal rarely starts dramatically. It starts small. Casual conversations. Compliments. Shared jokes. Then secrecy. Then choices. I don't hate her. That's what makes this complicated. I hate what she did. I hate how it made me feel. Disposable, naive, replaceable. But I still see the woman who raised my children. Who held my hand in hospital rooms. Who built this life with me. That duality is exhausting. I don't have a clean ending for this story. No grand resolution. Just ongoing work and lingering doubt. Maybe that's real life. All I know is that trust, once broken, doesn't snap back into place. It leaves a scar. And every time I see someone in athletic shorts walking 3 dogs down my street, I feel it ache all over again.